One major reason this conversation has returned is the growing gap between benefit increases and real-life expenses. Even with cost of living adjustments, many seniors report that their monthly checks do not stretch as far as they did just 1 year ago. Rent increases, grocery prices, insurance premiums, and out-of-pocket medical costs have all risen faster than expected. When federal agencies analyze this data, they look at whether existing benefit formulas are keeping pace. Recent internal reviews suggest that for many seniors, they are not. Another key factor is timing. The federal government is entering a period where budget reviews, benefit recalculations, and policy resets often happen close together. This creates a window where additional payments, supplemental checks, or one-time relief measures are easier to implement than at other times of the year. That window is now open. When combined with rising public pressure and visible financial strain among retirees, it creates momentum that did not exist just a few months ago. Seniors should also understand that the term $2,000 check does not always mean the same thing in every discussion. Sometimes it refers to a direct stimulus-style payment. Other times it refers to combined relief, such as a lump sum adjustment, retroactive benefits, or temporary supplemental payments spread across programs. What changed overnight is that policymakers are no longer speaking only in vague terms. They are referencing specific dollar amounts again, and $2,000 is one of the figures being modeled most frequently. There is also renewed focus on equity between different groups of seniors, those receiving Social Security retirement benefits, those on SSI, those on SSDI, and veterans all experience inflation differently. Fixed-income seniors with disabilities or limited work history often feel price increases more sharply than others. Because of this, agencies are reviewing whether a one-size-fits-all adjustment is fair or whether targeted relief makes more sense. That debate is another reason the $2,000 number is resurfacing, because it represents a meaningful amount that could actually make a difference rather than a symbolic increase. Overnight changes also include updates in how benefit data is being reviewed and cross-checked. Payment accuracy, delayed adjustments, and underpayments have become a larger concern. When agencies correct those issues, seniors sometimes receive larger than expected deposits that feel like stimulus checks, even though they are technically corrections or back payments. This has added to the confusion and excitement around the topic, especially as more seniors report unexpected deposits or notices about account reviews. It is crucial to stay grounded during moments like this. Scammers and misinformation spread fastest when hope and uncertainty collide. Seniors should remember that legitimate payments always come with official communication, clear explanations, and consistent procedures. Any claim that demands personal information or promises instant money without verification should be treated with caution. Understanding what is real and what is speculation is part of protecting your financial security. What makes this moment different from past rumors is that multiple systems are moving at once. Legislative conversations, agency reviews, public data releases, and budget planning are all overlapping. That does not guarantee a $2,000 payment, but it does guarantee that seniors are being discussed at a higher level than they were before. When that happens, outcomes tend to follow, whether through direct checks, benefit recalculations, or new forms of assistance. As we move forward in this update, it is important to separate emotion from evidence. The evidence shows that financial pressure on seniors is real, that current benefits are under review, and that policymakers are reconsidering tools they previously set aside. That is the real story behind why $2,000 checks are trending again. It is not hype for its own sake. It is a signal that something in the system is shifting. In the next part, we will walk carefully through what this could realistically mean for seniors, how different benefit groups may be affected, what signs to watch for in official notices, and how to prepare so you do not miss out on any legitimate payment or adjustment that may be coming. Staying informed, calm, and prepared is the most powerful position you can be in right now. Now that you understand why the conversation around $2,000 checks has suddenly returned, the most important question becomes what this realistically means for seniors right now. This is where clarity matters more than excitement. While no universal payment has been officially announced yet, the renewed discussions signal that changes are actively being evaluated, and those changes could take different forms depending on your benefit type, income level, and personal situation. For seniors receiving Social Security retirement benefits, the focus is currently on adequacy rather than expansion. Policymakers are closely examining whether monthly checks are keeping up with real expenses. Even small gaps, when multiplied over millions of beneficiaries, become large policy concerns. When officials talk about a $2,000 figure, they are often using it as a benchmark to measure how far behind some households have fallen. That figure helps determine whether one-time relief, temporary supplements, or recalculated adjustments are needed to stabilize older Americans financially. For those receiving SSI, the discussion is even more urgent. SSI benefits are already modest, and inflation hits this group the hardest. Rent increases, grocery prices, and medical costs do not adjust downward just because a benefit is limited. Because of this, SSI recipients are frequently at the center of relief modeling. A $2,000 payment or something structured similarly would have a much larger impact for this group than a small monthly increase spread over a year. That reality is driving renewed attention inside federal agencies. SSDI recipients are also part of this conversation. Many individuals receiving disability benefits face long-term medical costs and limited earning capacity. When inflation rises quickly, SSDI households often have no way to compensate through additional work. Policymakers are reviewing whether current disability benefit formulas accurately reflect modern living costs. In that context, a one-time payment or targeted relief becomes a practical solution rather than a political gesture. Veterans receiving VA benefits are not excluded from these discussions either. Rising costs affect veterans just as much as other seniors, especially those with service-connected disabilities. While VA benefits operate under a different system, coordination between agencies often happens during periods of broad economic stress. That is another reason why the $2,000 figure is circulating across multiple programs rather than being tied to a single one. One critical thing seniors should understand is that payments do not always arrive labeled as stimulus. Sometimes relief appears as a supplemental payment, an adjustment, a retroactive correction, or a special deposit tied to a review. Many seniors miss these payments simply because they are not expecting them or do not recognize them when they arrive. That is why paying attention to official notices, letters, and account statements is essential during periods like this. Preparation is not about panic, it is about awareness. Seniors should make sure their contact information with benefit agencies is up to date. Address changes, banking updates, and representative payee information should be accurate. When agencies issue payments, delays often happen because records are outdated. Being proactive now can prevent frustration later. Another important point is patience. Policy movement does not always follow public excitement. Discussions happen quietly, approvals take time, and implementation can stretch over weeks or months. The fact that $2,000 checks are trending does not mean deposits will happen overnight. It means the groundwork is being laid. Seniors who understand this timeline are less likely to fall for false promises or misleading claims. It is also worth understanding why officials are cautious. Large payments affect budgets, inflation metrics, and long-term planning. Agencies want to make sure any relief provided actually helps seniors without creating new problems. That careful approach can feel slow, but it is also what makes legitimate payments reliable once they are approved. During this period, misinformation spreads quickly. Seniors should be especially careful about messages that claim guaranteed payments, demand fees, or ask for personal information. Legitimate benefit changes never require upfront payment, and they are never communicated through unofficial channels. Protecting your personal and financial information is just as important as staying informed. The bigger picture here is stability. The renewed attention on $2,000 checks reflects a broader concern about whether older Americans can maintain a basic standard of living on fixed incomes. That concern is not going away. Even if relief does not arrive in the exact form people expect, the pressure driving these discussions will continue to shape benefit policy going forward. For seniors, this moment is about understanding your value. These benefits are not handouts. They are earned supports designed to provide dignity and security after decades of work, service, or contribution. When policymakers revisit relief measures, they are responding to real needs, not abstract numbers. As you move forward, stay informed but stay calm. Watch for official communications, pay attention to your accounts, talk with trusted family members if something seems confusing, and remember that change often starts quietly before it becomes visible. As we come to the end of this update, it is important to slow everything down and focus on what truly matters for seniors right now. The return of the $2,000 check conversation is not just another headline passing through the news cycle. It reflects a deeper recognition that many older Americans are under financial strain and that existing support systems are being tested by rising costs and changing economic realities. Understanding this context helps separate fear from facts and hope from hype. What seniors should take away from this moment is not a promise of instant money, but reassurance that their situation is being taken seriously again at the highest levels. When policymakers revisit numbers like $2,000, it means they are measuring real gaps in real households. It means they are acknowledging that for many seniors, even small shortfalls can lead to difficult choices between essentials like food, medicine, and housing. That recognition alone is meaningful because it drives future decisions. This is also a reminder that benefits are not static. Social Security, SSI, SSDI, and veteran benefits have always evolved in response to economic conditions. Sometimes those changes come as monthly increases. Sometimes they arrive as corrections, supplements, or one-time payments. The form may change, but the purpose stays the same, which is to provide stability and dignity for older Americans. Seniors who understand this are better equipped to respond calmly when new information appears. Another key lesson is the importance of patience and awareness. Major benefit decisions do not happen overnight, even when conversations move quickly behind the scenes. Delays do not mean denial, and silence does not mean nothing is happening. Often, the most significant developments occur quietly before becoming public. Seniors who stay informed without becoming anxious place themselves in the best position to benefit from legitimate changes. It is also worth emphasizing that preparation does not require stress. It simply means staying organized and attentive, keeping personal information current, opening official mail, and reviewing bank statements carefully are small habits that make a big difference. Many seniors miss out on payments or experience delays not because they were ineligible, but because records were outdated or notices were overlooked. Being prepared is an act of self-protection. This moment also highlights the importance of community and trust. Seniors should not feel isolated when navigating benefit changes. Trusted family members, caregivers, or advocates can help review information and provide reassurance when something feels confusing. At the same time, seniors should feel confident asking questions and seeking clarity from official sources when needed. Financial security should never feel like a mystery. The renewed attention on $2,000 checks also sends a broader message about value. Seniors have spent decades contributing to their families, communities, and the country. Retirement and disability benefits exist because that contribution matters. When leaders revisit relief options, they are responding to the reality that seniors deserve security, not constant uncertainty. That message is just as important as any dollar amount. As inflation and living costs continue to evolve, conversations about benefit adequacy will not disappear. This means that even if relief does not arrive exactly as some expect right now, the pressure driving these discussions will continue. Seniors should view this moment as part of an ongoing process rather than a single event. Staying informed over time is far more powerful than reacting to every headline. To bring everything together, here is the core truth. The reason $2,000 checks are trending again is because the system is being re-examined, and seniors are once again at the center of that examination. This is not about false promises or empty talk. It is about recognizing financial realities and exploring solutions. Whether those solutions come as direct payments, benefit adjustments, or new forms of support, awareness is the strongest tool seniors have. As you move forward, remember that knowledge reduces fear. Understanding how benefits work, why discussions happen, and what signs to watch for gives you control in an uncertain environment. You do not need to panic, rush, or respond to every rumor. You simply need to stay informed, stay cautious, and stay confident in your right to accurate information and fair treatment. This update is meant to empower you, not overwhelm you. Seniors deserve clear explanations, honest context, and respectful communication. By understanding what changed overnight and what may come next, you are better prepared for whatever decisions follow. That preparedness protects your finances, your peace of mind, and your independence. Thank you for taking the time to stay informed. Moments like this remind us that awareness is not just useful, it is essential. When seniors understand the system works better for seniors.